Mount Hutt is a compact resort, a short drive from Methven and easily accessible from Christchurch. Removed from the tourist bustle of the Queenstown resorts, it does get the weekend and powder day crowds from Christchurch. You'll feel like you're skiing with the locals if the drive up doesn't already give you that feeling.
The resort is etched into a basin near the top of Mount Hutt, making for a challenging drive up that will definitely wake the senses if your morning coffee hasn't. The beginner and intermediate terrain is serviced by high capacity lifts, making sure skiers are constantly moving up the hill away from the base of the resort. If the snow conditions permit, there is plenty of terrain for advanced skiers, but access may require hiking, traversing, or a shuttle back to the base, or all of the above. Inbound advanced terrain is short and punchy, taking skiers straight back into the milieu of beginner and intermediate skiers.
Parking at the main base is limited, so arrive early or be prepared to ride a shuttle. The lift services at Mount Hutt are focused on getting patrons up the main basin, providing access to an array of greens, blues and reds, plus a few short blacks. The Towers Triple provides access to a decent drop below the resort base, but it is a long, slow ride back up. Mount Hutt provides a neat resort for beginner and intermediate skiers to lap trails, but expect to be familiar with most of the mountain by lunchtime.
Getting to Mount Hutt is roughly 2 hours drive from Christchurch or 40 minutes from Methven. The last half hour or 14 kilometres of the drive is on a dirt road that can have challenging conditions. Plus, expect locals and four-wheel drives to be pushing the speed limit and overtaking at will. There are bus and private transfer options from both Christchurch and Methven. We'll provide a separate video with more info on this. If you're driving, you'll need chains as required by resort management, and based on road conditions, you'd be crazy not to comply.
The parking at the base is limited and fills up quickly, so you might find yourself forced to park at the Rakaya Saddle or Z Creek car parks and ride the shuttle. Note that Mount Hutt operates carpool priority days when the resort is busy. Check their website for more details, so unless your car is full, you may find yourself forced to park at the lower car parks. On the plus side, when the snow is good, advanced skiers can take the Rakaya Saddle chutes back to the car as their last run of the day.
The Mount Hutt base area and top-tier parking are nestled on a short plateau. The main base building with key services and facilities, plus a few restaurants, bars and a cafe. There are lockers, open-air cubbies and rentals at the base along with ski school. No on-mountain lodging is provided at Mount Hutt, and Methven is the closest town with lots of accommodation to choose from.
All food and beverage options are at the base, but the spa at the top of the summit provides a novelty experience for anyone willing to lose a few layers. You can also take packed lunches to eat, but finding a place to sit on the open-air deck can be a challenge.
Let's get to the skiing. The layout at Mount Hutt has the two main lifts in close proximity at the base. As these are 8-seater and 6-seater express chairs, they move a high volume up the hill, but it makes for a very busy, compact base area.
For the beginner, there is a small dedicated learning area with the magic carpet to the left of the main base, while the Norwest Express provides access to a few gentle greens for those ready to step out of the learning area. This lift also services the terrain parks, so beginners will have to deal with the congestion along the top of Highway 72. Beginner skiers with a little more confidence can step up to Lex's Way or Broadway before riding the Summit Express and trying Morning Glory.
Virgin Mile and No Dive are gentle blue trails that are not overly challenging, although the narrow ridge along sections of Virgin Mile may stress the less confident skier or those with a fear of heights. Hutt Hollow has a tunnel which will provide some entertainment for kids, but there aren't any designated kids adventure zones.
For the intermediate skier, Fascination onto Broadway or Chair Bowl to Johnny Dole's are wide blue trails great for building confidence and skills. They can get tracked out and lumpy by the afternoon, providing an added challenge. Virgin Mile through to No Dive is a great way to soak in the sun and enjoy the views. International and Reservoir Dogs are decent long trails with some challenging pitches for intermediate skiers looking to level up.
Mount Hutt has some decent steep and technical terrain when snow conditions permit. Unfortunately, this was not the case during our visit. Trails like Free Dive and Platter Splatter offer short, sharp descents, while Bob's Knob is a little longer, and all take you back to the express chairs. South Face to Muesli Bowl or Bluffs to Lower Triple look to provide some technical terrain but require traversing or walk across the access road. These routes look long, and the slow return on the Towers Triple lift may provide a much needed rest for the legs to recover.
Check with the resort for the bus schedule if you plan to venture to the Rakaya Saddle chutes, or treat this as your last trail of the day if your car is parked at the Rakaya lot. Mount Hutt provides an array of terrain park features accessed off the 8-seater Norwest Express. The 3-minute lift ride means skiers or boarders looking to hit the kickers or slide the rails can rinse the parks and max out their enjoyment.
A few things to be aware of for Mount Hutt. The resort has snowmaking facilities along the main trails, ensuring beginner and intermediate terrain is open. The base can get busy since most trails funnel back to the 2 express lifts. Towers might provide a reprieve, but you'll need to pack some patience for the long lift ride.
The resort is nestled in a bowl, providing some protection from weather coming from the north, west, or east, but any southerly wind whips up the valley. Unfortunately, this has earned Mount Hutt the Mount Shock moniker. The Norwest lift has swing dampeners, so can operate in some impressively high winds, but you may not want to be on the lift in conditions like that.
The road from Methven up to the resort is not sealed, so conditions can vary significantly. If you are driving, 4-wheel drive and all-weather tyres are recommended. Note that having chains is a requirement. The locals drive with extreme confidence, which can be a bit challenging to those unfamiliar with the road or the conditions.
If the weather is turning, be prepared to make a quick exit to beat the traffic or change in road conditions. The drive down is long enough without added complication. We had a flat on our way off the mountain, fortunately in warm, dry conditions.
In our opinion, Mount Hutt is a neat resort that plays well to its strengths. The high-capacity express lifts provide quick access to a solid mix of greens, blues and reds that will keep beginner and intermediate skiers entertained. When conditions are good, there are trails and off-piste areas to challenge advanced skiers, while on a clear day, the views from Virgin Mile are spectacular.
Mount Hutt will suit intermediate skiers who want to build skills and confidence through familiarity, and families wanting to introduce the kids to skiing within a compact resort. Check out our trail and lift videos to get the most out of your visit to Mount Hutt.